Let's
Oh! Corona Cast. I didn't mean to turn you on. Do, 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 do. That was just what I was listening to. It's all about her friend who she's dancing in the club with, I guess. And like she danced too well that like he tried to fuck her. And then she's like, no, like we're just friends. And then he's really upset. And apparently they're never going to be friends again. 1980s.
The theme song for
Men. And she's apologizing. Yeah. I'm like, I'm so dancing. Sorry. I didn't want to fuck you. Please forgive me.
We did the dancing and I asked. I was a good guy. This is like
I was a good guy to you.
This is like Corona Cast Part 9 where we talk about the guys who get angry that they followed the quote unquote guidelines of being a nice guy.
A good guy, so I must get laid.
Right. Yeah.
It's you like must give me the pussy.
That's what happens when you're a nice guy, so you can get laid, as opposed to just being a nice guy and happening to get
existing as a decent human being.
Yeah. That's too much to ask.
It's too much.
As we saw.
Yeah. It's like everything needs a payoff. Corona Cast.
Hey, everybody. It's Billy.
And Megan.
And I think it's like day 70-something probably of quarantine.
What?
Can you believe that we've basically spent a very long time together?
Basically lived together.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Oh, you're like, I gotta cook
it's
more.
It's day 71. That's what it is. Day 71.
Day 7. Oh my
71
God.
Of quarantine.
And it's still not over.
Still, well,
71 days.
The problem is it's not, the coronavirus isn't over, but quarantine may soon be over.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, I am waiting for next week, to be honest, just from like looking at the projections from the Spanish flu and like what they're saying. I think there's going to be like a huge spike next week. If the science makes sense for how easily spread this disease is, because people were not, social distancing and doing whatever they wanted. So I feel like there's going to be an influx of people like next week who are infected because it takes like a 2-week interval. So that's going to be fun.
You think they'll reverse this decision to ease things up if that happens?
I think if it gets really bad, they might have to. Because they have to slow it down again in order because people don't realize it's not that we're all getting infected. Thing is that it's the amount of people that have to go to the hospital, and the hospitals don't have the capacity to handle these massive influxes. So that's why we were trying to slow down the curve.
Right. And I like to think that we've gotten to a point where, people at least understand the whole hospital beds available thing.
I don't think so.
I think people truly seem to believe that we're past it.
Yeah, I think they're like, oh, we just had to like hang out for a month and then, oh, it's dead now. And I'm like, and then the whole thing where people think viruses like go away in summer is really hilarious. It's just that the nice thing is that
the summer isn't your shitty kid you shipped off to camp.
Yeah, because the worst part is like in the winter you have people who are suffering from the flu as well. So like the hospitals are even run down even more, and your immune system is shut down even more. I'm not a scientist, so like I might be.
I very much appreciate your analysis.
Yeah. Anyways, let's go back to the podcasting.
Well, we had a very nice day yesterday, especially you. You mostly had the nice day yesterday. I had a very nice day with you.
Yeah, I'm like, I wanted you to have, the whole point was for us to have a nice day.
Well, for me, the point was for you to have the nice day.
Yeah, but sometimes I want you to make your wants, and if you want something, vocalize it. But don't make it all about me having a nice day. I want us to have a nice day.
But that's why I think that's what you still don't realize. I just don't have that many wants and needs. I do vocalize them when I have them, but I don't have them often. Like
today, you're like, I don't know if I want you to take the dress off or put it back on.
No, I wanted it to come off. Okay, fair. Maybe I didn't make myself as known. Maybe
I took it off.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to eat you out, and I just the dress comes in the way of that. You were putting it on.
Yeah. But Billy really liked the dress, so that's why he was torn. I'm wearing it right now. Yeah.
This is really nice.
Yeah.
Outfit.
It's a 2-piece.
Well, why don't you tell people what we did yesterday?
So we took a nice little mini road trip from the tippy top.
Road trip so liberally.
It's like an hour and a half. That's like a road trip to some people. I mean,
Okay.
I've done road
maybe
trips
to the
that
Amish.
are like
I don't know. Like
I've done road trips that are like half the country. Isn't like anyways, to the Amish. Shut up. So we took a nice trip
the one group
to
of people I know isn't listening.
technology. Anyways,
I get African downloads I'm surprised by, but I know no Amish are listening.
I don't know. They might be like not as orthodox. You know.
Sorry,
I don't know.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. Anyways, Mr. Procida, we had or William. I decided I'm going to call you William now. Yeah, William. Yeah, I like full names. Something about me. Anyways, God, I keep getting sidetracked.
What did we do yesterday?
We went to the beach.
The beach.
It was 80 degrees. You know, like I usually don't have free time during the week to just like hop in a car and go to the beach. So like that was the most exciting thing about quarantine because I was like, oh my God, I could just go to the beach. Like I don't have anything else I desperately need to do.
And we now can because the governor did open the beaches. We didn't defy it. We didn't go protest. We didn't defy an order.
No, we didn't do anything. And we like social distanced. We social distanced while we were there.
Yeah.
Like we made sure that we weren't sitting like 20 feet originally from anyone else.
Yeah, we had good distance from all the
Yeah.
closest towels. And not for nothing, when we walked in, it looked like most of the beach was kind of
Spread
all
out.
attempting to be spread out.
Yeah.
It didn't look like cross-pollination or anything. And so I was feeling okay. I was very comfortable. I was relaxed.
Yeah.
Which beach did we which beach did we go to?
To Gunnison,
Which
the
is-
nude
yeah.
beach, so I can tan these cheeks.
And that you did.
Yes. I have a little bit of a base now. I'm very excited. I got to go back.
Your OnlyFans members will know exactly how tanned your cheeks are.
Yes.
So, and what was it that you like about the beach so much? You call yourself a water baby.
Yeah, I'm definitely a water baby. I don't know what it is because it's so funny because I was the only person in my family growing up that actually liked the water. Like I didn't have an influence from it and I like always the one begging to go swimming and like do all of those things. And yeah, ever since I can remember, I've always lived by the water. I used to live right near the harbor, about like a 4-minute walk to the boardwalk on the harbor. Then I grew up on a lake when my parents remarried. And then like now I live in Jersey City, which is like the farthest I've been from water, but you know, pretty close to the Hudson and the ocean. But yeah, like there's something so calming and like just welcoming. And like I thought about becoming a marine biologist at one point. And then I realized that they made absolutely no fucking money and the school cost an insane amount of money. So I was like, nah, I like clothes. I better not do this.
Isn't it amazing like what dreams are killed simply by finding
So
by money?
many dreams. I've had so many interests.
Like good dreams too,
Yeah.
like marine biologists.
Yeah,
And then you're like,
I would have been
"Oh,
a great marine
I'll be
biologist.
poor."
I would be. I'm telling you, I did a semester of the program because I could do marine biology and still apply to like pre-med, like medical schools. So I was like, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll like double major. And then I was going to a very expensive school and I talked to the program director about like the starting salaries of a bachelor's degree in marine biology. And she was like, oh, it's usually about like $24,000. And I'm like, I'm paying $30,000 a year to go here, and that's with the $10,000 grant.
Capitalism, the killer of planets and dreams.
Honestly, yeah. So
For someone
you know.
who's such a beach baby, though, you're a very messy beach baby.
What does that mean?
We both put down our blankets next to each
I don't
other.
care because I don't care about the sand. I'm like, I'll sleep on the sand. I would sleep without the blanket. I use the blanket just to keep my shit nice.
Okay.
I would just lay on the sand.
I was just shocked because like I'm very careful. I try to be careful and mitigate like sand
The
stuff.
sand, yeah.
So like after the first hour, my blanket's very sandless.
Well, this is why we brought separate
And
blankets.
next to me is this like post-hurricane sandy looking situation. There's
As
an
I, like,
empty bag of
sit
this thing.
on the
There's
ocean line.
sand all over the place. There's a naked lady just laying about. Like it.
Yeah, I'm like the beach. I'm like, yeah, I'll just roll around. I don't care. Like I'm not here. Like I don't put my makeup on. I like put my hair in a bun. You know, I just am like there to like. I'm a swimmer. Usually, if it was a little bit warmer, I would have been like swimming constantly. Like if you take me somewhere else with like calmer water, I will be in the water for a very long time.
Yeah.
And, like when I go to the Caribbean, I literally just like sit and like soak for hours and hours, and I'll just come in to reapply sunscreen. But I will literally just like sit in the water and try to look at the fish for like hours. I'm also probably very drunk because, you know, all inclusives. But drunk me loves the clear water.
Was this your first? Was this your first time at a nude beach?
No, I've done nude beaches abroad because I've done, you know, like I've traveled quite a bit. So like a lot of the Caribbean places I've been to will have like a section of beach.
Is
that's
it
a
nude or
beach.
is it topless?
No, nude.
Okay.
Nude. Yeah. And like I've done an all-inclusive where they had a whole section of the nude beach, but it was like fenced off because it was like a family resort. But then you couldn't get drinks there, which was very sad.
Yeah, in general, just the powers that be really hate mixing nudity and alcohol. That, you know, when you, whether it's strip club rules or that type of a rule or just anything.
Interesting. Yeah.
So what did you think of this particular nude beach?
Oh, I love it there. I mean, it's very like queer. It's very like
we were like more on the gay end of the beach. I didn't realize that till we were there, and I was like,
always go to the gay end. Asbury too. I love the gay end of the beach near the bar, the beach bar.
Well, you know, at Gunnison, it's not really like it's not that long of a beach. The actual Gunnison portion, Sandy Hook is long, but Gunnison isn't, and like it's all nude beach. But I forgot. I never camp out in that area. I usually go straight forward, and I usually go somewhere straight from the entrance.
Yeah, I usually try to go towards like the sand dunes.
Oh, so you don't like being near the water?
I do like being water. There were sand dunes and water.
Okay, fair.
So I was like, this will be nice.
So yeah, like at the edge of where we went, at the edge of Gunnison, that is a more gay, more mostly men. It's a mostly like queer dude portion.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
And I totally forgot about that till we sat down. And I was like, it's a bunch of like 2s and 3s of guys.
Yeah, like 2s and 3s.
2s and 3s of naked men all over the place.
And then somebody started playing Rent. And we're like, oh.
Yes, as we left, someone happened to be playing the Rent soundtrack. That was nice. So you like this particular beach? Or
yeah, I mean, I love to tan naked, you know, because I get, from the work that I do, and like I'm constantly in the sun, I get insane different types of tan lines. So like any chance to be actually nude, and even now, not that it matters, but like it's just a thing for if I wear like certain tops. But I personally like to be nude anyways.
Same.
Considering how much clothing I own. Like I don't sleep in the nude.
Yeah, she does.
I'm in my house in the nude quite a bit.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, so like the nudity. And I think there's something super freeing about the nude beach. It's so crazy that like the place where I am most exposed makes me feel the most comfortable, because it makes you realize like everyone's body just is so different but yet so similar. Like no matter how you look, it's just bodies, it's just flesh.
I feel cute at the nude beach. I see the other bodies that are there, and I go like, yeah, I'm a cute boy.
Yeah, because we're all cute. Like I don't look at anyone, I'm like, that person is horrifying. I don't know.
There's some people who are.
Oh,
I mean, it doesn't necessarily do with bodies, but just they're unfortunate looking. There are Susan Boyles in this world.
All right. Not everyone could be beautiful, or else we wouldn't appreciate beauty.
Yeah, and that's why we all appreciate you.
Oh, stop.
Boom!
Oh,
see how I did that? Everyone take notes.
Oh my god.
No, but it is true that like that it's a lot of different bodies at that beach, and you can. If you can get over taking your clothes off and look around, you realize like you look like a lot of other people. And the nude beach, like it's not just a big like sexy quote unquote. Oh, let me rephrase this.
Orgy.
Well, actually, I was going to compare it to orgies.
Oh.
It's not I love the temptation to go to your phone. I turned it over even for a reason because I knew this was going to happen.
Okay, go.
I was going to compare it in as much as like people have a vision of what it is. So you think nude beach and you think all of these like, to use your term, like straight bodies.
Yeah,
straight size bodies and abs and big swinging dicks and perfectly shaped breasts and all this stuff.
Apparently, straight size is anyone who isn't plus.
Okay,
so like ideal societal norm.
Sure,
would be what
abs and fitness or whatever. So you think it's that, and I think people think that of sex parties too. I think it's going to be. They think it's going to be a bunch of models, but it's like nah. It's like your PTA meeting, but with their clothes off. Like that. It's truly that.
I don't know. The sex parties we've been to, people have been pretty attractive.
There's a lot of attractive people, but there's a lot of different bodies and stuff.
There's a lot of different bodies.
Is what I'm trying to say is that like I think people have this vision of what it is, and then they show up and they realize like, oh, it's my neighbor.
Yeah, and like even I can say from my own experiences, like especially something like that where it's completely based off the physical and like bodies, I get like sometimes nervous about like sex parties if like, you know, people are going to talk to me, and people always talk to me, you know.
Yeah. Nude beach. So overall, good trip for you.
Yeah,
we got some cute shots.
We got cute shots.
Yeah, I got really upset at one point, but outside, just because people were being dumb. But outside of that, it seemed like a good trip, happy trip.
Yes,
from a girl.
We'll do it again soon.
Looking forward to it. I don't know. Y'all can meet us there. Just be 10 feet from our tower, please.
Just don't like try to. Touch us.
I mean, but that's the thing. It's like I'm starting to give in and think like, I don't know, maybe we need to give up on whatever
and we'll all get sick.
Well, because if that's what everyone else is doing, at some point there's a threshold where it's futile to continue trying to do the community take care of each other thing. Yeah. Now, if you're like immunocompromised, if you have to start doing things that's for you, you do that. But in terms of this whole like doing what's best for everybody thing, I'm starting to give up, or I'm starting to like be. I don't know. There's a threshold at which it's just dumb, and seeing people like gather at that beach and at like around like 1 o'clock or so, like we started seeing people like 30, 40 people were just like standing next to each other at the beach.
Yeah, like at hanging the water line, at the water line and going
introducing each other, shaking hands. It was like, you know what? Like fuck, you know, maybe I'm a sucker. I don't know. So I don't know. Maybe you can meet us at the nude beach and we can hug. We'll find out. But I'm glad it was nice that we got you some pastas. We had a nice dinner. I set a table for you.
Yes. And we watched Creed.
We watched the fight scene, the final fight scene from Creed.
Yes.
I poured you wine.
Yes, you did. It was a very nice day.
It's a nice day.
Very nice.
I'm glad it was a nice day for you.
Yes. I'm glad it was nice for you too.
Sure. You love the Man Whore podcast, but are you an official fan whore yet? Because right now, over 200 whoreheads are connecting in our private Patreon communities like the Champagne Room and the Peep Show. You can join us today for as little as $2 to meet a ton of like-minded, sex-positive friends. And fuck, don't we need some of that right now? You'll also gain access to behind-the-scenes content and bonus episodes. Join us today at patreon.com/manwhorepodcast. That's Patreon, patreon.com/manwhorepodcast. Now let's get back to the show. Well, it cut off like right as I was being super cute. I was just trying to say it's always nice making you happy. I know it has less punch in it the second time I tell you. No, it's
very cute.
No, it's
very cute. Cute.
Well, so
lounging.
You know, yeah, she's gotten a lot more comfortable since I had to change the batteries.
I'm learning how to be comfortable on the mic, so this is helping.
You are. But there's something I did want to talk to you about that I thought was interesting that I think a lot of couples or just people in relationships quarantined together are going through right now. And this also can apply, I think, to people newly living together, even if this wasn't quarantine and you were listening to this 3 years from now when there's hopefully a vaccine. How do you handle money and talking about money within relationships?
Well, I think the money thing is weird because for me, the way I handle money is so different from person to person. Like different relationships call for different things. Like in some of my not super serious relationships, the other person likes to spoil me and that's kind of where the dynamic of the relationship is. Whereas my serious relationships, I try to keep the money thing fair, but not obsessive. I like to kind of make sure it's somewhat equal, but also not try to overcompensate and count every dollar. But the money thing, I used to overcompensate and try to be the breadwinner too much. So now I kind of just like, if people want to pay for things, they could pay for it. If I want to pay for things, I'll just offer and just let people kind of like speak up for themselves. Like I know in my household, my partner and I pretty much split everything. We split the rent equally. We split the bills. I'll buy, like, I decorated the house. He like will buy all the groceries. Like,
but now,
you know,
and no need to share numbers. I'm not trying to blow up anyone's spot here. Yeah. But do y'all make comparable amounts of money?
I make a little bit more. Okay. I make more, but my bills are higher than him.
Okay.
So like I have student loans and I have other things that cost more than him.
Okay.
But he has like, he doesn't owe anything. He doesn't have any debt.
And how is that dynamic of like typically splitting stuff? Has that changed or stayed the same during quarantine?
Before when this started, I knew that I was the one with savings. So I offered to pay for all of the groceries and things like that. But then it turned out that my partner got like full unemployment and was actually making more money.
Good for him.
Than me. So like currently, so we kind of went back to splitting it. So he's actually been doing great with money because we haven't been eating out, and he's been like squirreling away a shit ton of money too right now. So it's actually been really good.
You got to start some savings?
Yeah. So he's great. Nice. Yeah. He's saved like a bunch of money in the past like 2 months. So have I.
So you've kind of picked up a little extra because you were making some extra money. Also, like obviously the OnlyFans, like.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, like that stuff. But like to me, like I am very serious with money, and from my relationships I've learned in the past to not be so serious with it and let people spend money on me. That actually, it's weird because strangers I'll let, like, I don't care, I will literally let them
drain
pay
themselves dry.
Pay for everything. But then like my partners, I get like very like, no, like I should be chipping in. It's like, no, like sometimes, and I don't want to say men, but like sometimes there's something with men feeling that want of assertiveness and being the man. And I hate explaining it like that because I don't date like these stereotypical men, but sometimes that's the way it feels like, where they feel like they need to like not take care of me, because none of them take care of me, but like that's their thing to show affection. Like Austin will, like if we go to the bar, like he usually covers the bar tab and like, you know, because I'm at the bar with him to hang out with him, not necessarily, you know, because I want to get drunk or something like that.
Oh, baby, you don't want to drain me dry?
No, you don't have enough money. But I do think like trying to keep it fair, because I mean, like just because we're dating, I shouldn't like overcompensate if you're not making a shit ton of money too, you know, which I have done in the past. And now I'm like, because I got burned so badly financially by one of my partners, I'm like very much trying to find a middle ground. And if I get weird with money, just like I need to correct. It's nothing to do with you. It's more of like me like kind of being scarred by someone that I trusted very much so.
Right. Well, what's, I guess, before quarantine and during quarantine, what's been our like fiscal dynamic?
I think back and forth. You know, like I've treated you to things, and like you've treated me to things when you're able to.
Do you think that's the same inside and outside quarantine?
I don't know. No, I think outside quarantine, I did a little bit more.
Right.
And now because I'm not making the income and I don't have income security and I don't have unemployment, I'm trying to be more fiscally responsible all around. Like I'm not spending nearly the amount of money I was, and I can look at it, and I looked at it, I was like, oh my God, it was kind of reality check. I was like, I was kind of spending whatever I wanted, which is fine because I save.
You save, but you also like, you know, you don't sell yourself short. You do very well objectively for what your job is.
Yeah.
Like most people who have your job do not make what you make.
Yeah.
So like, and now you start the OnlyFans, which is gonna, and the OnlyFans, which is only going to be more popping.
Yeah, now I have people.
You just walk around. You just walk around the house and you randomly go like, "I made this much just now." Oh my gosh, I just did this. 100 subscribers. Like I get, it's almost like I'm looking at your bank account, right?
Yeah, and that money is just going straight to the bank account.
Sure, but that's why I've never felt weird about you like paying for stuff, because like I also, you know, I try not to be cheap. Even though I don't make like a shit ton of money.
Yeah, I don't think you're cheap.
I try not to be cheap. But I try to like step up, to if I could be like kind of 50-50. However, when someone makes like multiples of what I make in a year, then I'm like, yeah, she can pick that up. That's okay. Yeah. I'm not even going to question it.
But my expenses aren't cheap either.
Now, how does a couple like yesterday we had a scenario pop up where like I asked you to get something and then you said, "Aren't you going to get that?" And I was like, "Oh, well, I think." But like, so how did that extra interaction feel for you?
I think like way we handled it was the right way. I just was like, oh, I got this and this. Like, I thought you were getting this. And then I forgot that you were getting the beach because I'm like trying to keep things equal because we're basically making the same amount of money right now.
Yeah, which is really fun for me because everyone's pretty much like, I'm making so much less. I'm like, I'm making about the same. Like, I think y'all are just getting used to what it's like to make my income.
Yeah, like I'm making a lot less, even with the OnlyFans, which was kind of crazy that the OnlyFans income is the amount that people make. Like someone in the group like asked me and I was like, okay, like I usually don't like to share my financial things, but I was like, I'll share it. And she's like, you're making more than I make. And I was like, oh, right.
Because you're really good at it.
So I was like, yeah, like crap. And I work on it and I work hard. Yeah, like I promote, I do like, there's a lot of work into getting fans. It's not freaking easy. I'm constantly doing stuff.
It's not easy, but at the same time, it's like you also had like a 31,000 head start.
No, that doesn't necessarily mean shit. I know people who have 100,000 freaking followers that don't have.
That's where they're not bad. You have the skill set. You also happen to have like a starting point.
Yeah, like it's not like I just randomly got 100 fans.
I don't think you just randomly, but I think if you had 3,000 followers of 30, you would.
I've made more fans off that other account.
Really?
You would believe, yeah.
Then I will shut my fucking face.
You have no idea.
Tell me to shut my face.
Show your face up.
Tell me
what you're talking about.
Tell me to shut my fucking face.
Show your fucking face.
Or else what?
Or else I'm gonna shut up for you with my pussy.
Oh, that sounds great. I'm not gonna shut my face now.
Okay. Anyways, so I think we handled it like you were just like, oh, I paid for this. I was like, okay, cool. I'll just get this. It's not a big deal.
And it doesn't like irk you for later or something.
No, if it wasn't like a big thing. Like if it was like if I just dropped like $500 and I didn't feel like bringing my card to Wendy's, and you were like, hey, can you get the Wendy's? Then I would be like. Can you just get this like $5 chicken nuggets? Yeah. But you don't like,
right. It's not
healthy. That's what I mean.
It's not healthy to keep a ledger in one's head.
No, don't keep. And that's how I felt with people with coffee. Like people would get upset that I would buy them coffee constantly, or that they didn't get the chance to reciprocate, or like they would get the chance eventually, and they're like, "Oh, I got your coffee back," and I'm like, "I didn't it wasn't. I just got you coffee because I like you and I was getting coffee.
This isn't. We're not at the office.
Yeah, like I'm like
where Cheryl never chips in. Like
there's the one. Yeah, like I fuck Cheryl, but. Like those kind of things where it's like, well, you got coffee last week and like, I have to get you back. And it's like, no, like if you were like being that insane with like a $5 interval, don't buy anything for anyone. Like that should be your rule. Like you should just be like, I'm just keeping to myself my income because I hate people like that who get really rude and ridiculous with money and like to the cents. Like that drives me insane. Because I hate rudeness. I'm really big on rudeness. Rudeness is like my number one.
And I'm just trying to make you ruder.
Yeah, I hate rudeness though. Like I can be assertive to people, but like I don't know what it is. I
don't think you have to justify not liking rudeness. I think rudeness is already a negative thing. I think everyone's on board.
Yeah, but I mean it just irritates me.
So is there like too much someone could spend on you for something where it would become offensive and you'd be upset?
It used to be. Mm-hmm. Now I realize through my sexual education and like my life education that can inherently make the other person so much happier than it does for me. And I've accepted that where I'm like, some people really enjoy doing that for others. Like that is the benefit, the spoiling. I think that's where a lot of like findom and like things like that, like people enjoy.
PayPigs get at us.
Money. Yeah.
Our Venmo and Cash Apps are in the show notes.
Yeah, exactly. So like I think for me, like it took me a while to accept that. And because I always felt like I had to, like I always was the person who was like, okay, this person's spending $200 on Christmas. I have to spend $200 on Christmas. Kind of thing. And I still do that. I'm very weird with that. But with the spoiling me thing, I'm kind of just like, they enjoy it and I enjoy it. So like, I just need to accept that that's what makes them happy, and that I don't need to match that.
So would you bring up a great point on gift giving?
Yeah.
And do you prefer to prescribe to a spending the similar amount? It sounds okay.
Yes, I do. Because I think it keeps it, nobody's disappointed. Nobody feels like they have to spend more. But do you say that?
Do you tell them like, hey, please don't spend more than X dollars?
I have, and I like to, and I need to do it more.
I like how you didn't tell me because you're like, I don't think I'm going to need to. This poor broke artist person. It's going to be cute, whatever he shows up with.
But I think I also am making a lot more money in the past 2 years, so it's a little bit different because I'm not like so I don't have. I can afford it. So now I'm just like, and everything. And that's the weird thing too. I'm at the point where I make, like, I'm not rich. I'm not making rich people money. I'm not a fucking white man on Wall Street. I'm not. I know tons of people who make more money than me. You just live differently. And
this is just going to go by numbers, but I agree.
Okay, all right.
Continue.
So anyways, it's weird being the point where like anything I really want, I can just get, you know?
Yeah. But you know what you can't get with money? Can't get a Billy Brasida made macaroni painting.
Yes, which I would love. I love the artwork. But at the same time, like, I will never go on a date that I couldn't afford.
Yeah. I think that's the key part.
Yeah.
It's like and so I have had to, like, I've had women suggest like, let's go get dinner at such and such a place, and I've had to say straight up like, hey, I hate to be a buzzkill, I can't afford that place. And
you've done that with me where I'm like, I will pay for it. Like, I just want to go.
Yeah.
Like, if you drive, like, I will go get the steak. And that to me is winning. If it's something, I always pitch it with food. And one of my other partners does this as well. And we do very well with this. Is that because we like nice food? We'll be like, if it's the person's idea, they usually will pay. Like, if I have a place, because like you both have cars, I don't have a car. So if it's a place that like needs to be driven, it's like if I approach him and I'm like, hey, like I really want to go to this restaurant. Yeah. I made reservations. Like, my treat, can you just drive us there? Or like, you know, say
you value driving at too high. Gas ain't that fucking expensive. But,
I know.
But I do that too. I have that stance on like, say, first dates. Like, who was the aggressor is the person who I think you can at least hope is going to pay.
Yeah, like, but the Mark Maron tickets. Like, it's like, I bought the Mark Maron tickets and I was just like, hey, like, if you just drive us, we could go. Yeah. You know, because it's in Long Island.
Very nice.
Yeah.
You got to see him do that like literally right before this all happened.
Yeah.
Money can be weird, and I have a fucked up relationship with money, being how I grew up with who I grew up with. So it's, I'm always trying to be conscious and make sure, because I don't want to be a freeloader. I'm not like not making any money right now. Thank you, Patreon people. But again, like, I've never been crushing it. So I'm always trying to make sure I'm doing the right part. And I want to make sure, because you're so polite, that you can tell me when I need to chip in on a thing.
Yes.
And I think money's interestingly enough not something I stress about in our relationship.
Good. I'm glad.
But I do know it's a very common concern.
Yes, 100%. And I think all of my relationships currently have very good relationships with money, which is awesome.
Any other quarantine updates you'd like the people to know? The capital P people.
Oh my goodness. That's stressful. I don't know. I thought that I was going back to work soon, and then talking with some people who know officials in my city, it's not going to be that easy to just go back to work. And I'm a little like heartbroken over that, because I have like so many clients I love, and like I want to get back out to work, even though this has been lovely because I don't take time off. Like, as you know, I'm a psycho workaholic. But yeah, like, I'm just like, it's weird not knowing if you can go back to work. Like, that's kind of the hard part, where I'm taking all this time to make sure I have other income coming in, because I don't want to dip into the savings I like worked so hard to get to. So yeah, it's been weird. So
You're so high.
That's why I think the OnlyFans, like somebody was like, oh, can I have that video for free? And I was like, no, like this literally is my income.
Yeah.
Like this literally is my income right now. Like I wanted to do it as like a fun vacation money thing, but I'm like, no, like this is my money right now. Eventually, hopefully it'll go back to vacation money. Are you rubbing my belly?
I find it very erotic right now.
My belly?
Like cupping. Like, is this like I feel like this is what it feels like when you like gently like cup my balls.
Oh yeah, it feels nice.
Like,
look at you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Billy got like super way I would describe it. His mom brought up being fat and like dieting, and Billy just looked at me and held my hand. And I was like, I'm okay. Like I grew up with this generation of women. Like I understand.
Yeah, but it's
like,
different when it's your boyfriend's mother saying it. And I was letting you know, like, I know. I'm on your side if you need it.
I know. It was very sweet, but I was like, I'm not going to be offended by someone who grew up in a generation where that was everything and the end all be all.
And you know that one?
Yeah.
That lady?
Super great.
That lady, she's down to be educated on all the things. I got her on sex work decrim. If you brought up like what that meant, like she'd be like, oh, I had no idea. And she would try it.
Oh, 100%. And I think that's why I didn't get offended, because I know that her heart isn't in the right place and it wasn't towards me, it's towards herself. Completely. I just didn't have the spoons to be like, okay, we're gonna dive into it. But if it was somebody else's mom, like I've had discussions with other people's moms I've dated in the past where I was like I've had to say things, and like because I believe I wasn't coming from the right place. But your mom, like, no, absolutely. Like I know where it's coming from. It has nothing to do with me.
Yeah. All right, baby. Well, where can people find you if they enjoy you?
You can find me at the Instagram, which would be sweet. Message me. I'll say hi. It's Miss Giggles, MSGIGGGLES. If you want to give me your money, which some of the lovely Peep Show peeps have signed up for my OnlyFans and even bought videos. And I'm like, oh.
Shout out to the fan horse.
Yeah. I'm like, I feel this is so sweet. It's like so sweet. My OnlyFans is that fat babe. And yeah, I'll be doing a bunch of stuff. So like if you follow me on Instagram, I'm doing some other stuff. I think I'm going to be teaching a Zoom class soon on posing for all bodies. So yeah.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. Just search Billy Procida. I promise you I'm the top result. That's Procida, Procida. And you can... I don't have an OnlyFans yet.
You have a Patreon.
I keep thinking about OnlyFans and like, how would I do it? I don't know. TBD. If you want to join my Patreon, go on over to patreon.com/manwhorepodcast. That's Patreon, patreon.com/manwhorepodcast. We're doing a lot of fun, sexy, cute things over there. And if you are curious still about ManwhoreCon, honestly, that's where you'll first find out.
Corona Cast.